Nestled on the picturesque coast of Brindleton Bay, the Stockton Ranch has been in the Stockton family for over 100 years. Brianna and Jaden have loved raising their 3 children on the ranch, just like Jaden's ancestors have before them. However, with a new baby in the picture, Brianna wants to show her family the world, so despite their family's wishes, the Stocktons have decided to give up the ranch, but not just to anyone. Although they've decided to bulldoze the structures and sell what they don't need to fund their travels, they are willing to hand the land over for free to the right person or people in the hopes that someone would be willing to pour love and dedication into building the property into something new, just like their family has over the last century. Welcome to Tinytown, a challenge created by Deligracy where the rules are simple. Each sim has one unique skill they must use to fund the construction of their home on what was previously the Stocktons Ranch. Each sim is assigned a color and decor style, which must be represented by their home. Only one sim will move in at a time, and the next cannot move in until the previous one's home is complete. And of course, everyone in Tinytown has to pitch in. Each sim must also contribute a community build or aspect. Now that you know the rules, let's meet the Tinytowners and hear their stories. JavaScript worked a high-pressure tech job in San Sequoia until burnout pushed him to the edge. Tired of coding for soulless corporations, he quit, looking for a quieter life where he could focus on meaningful creative projects. While browsing Zillow for a fresh start, he heard about the Stockton family's offer through an online forum. Maybe this is the chance for him to start from scratch. Ash Carver grew up in Chestnut Ridge, learning carpentry from his grandfather and camping in Granite Falls with his dad. He never graduated high school and instead worked for his family's carpentry business to save enough money to build his own cabin in the woods. After his grandfather decided to close down the family business, he was delivering a final order to Brindleton Bay when he heard about the Stockton Ranch. As a man who takes solace in his alone time, it was a difficult decision. However, he decided to apply for space on the land in hopes of building a workshop and home of his own in honor of his family's legacy. Brianna and Jaden thought he would fit perfectly into their vision of who helps build their family's land from the ground up, just like theirs did. Melody Scratch has been playing an endless cycle of low-paying gigs in underground clubs throughout San Myshuno in the hopes of becoming a well-known music producer. After playing a gig that the organizer bailed on paying her for, she ended up couch surfing for weeks, unable to make rent. That is, until she saw the opportunity to build something new on the Stockton land. Perhaps this is what Melody needs to break free from the toxic city lifestyle that she has grown used to, and to find her individuality as an artist again. Paige Turner was living at home after graduating from the University of Brightchester with a creative writing degree. She decided to do some freelance writing to earn extra income and hopefully move out on her own. She was working on a novel that no publisher would take a chance on. Feeling burnt out and with writer's block taking over, she decided to leave home and live out of her car until she found inspiration for a new project. While visiting a library in Brindleton Bay, she heard people talking about a local family offering their land up. After writing a heartfelt letter to Brianna Stockton, stating she'd like to write about the Stockton family legacy and be part of its new one, she's determined to turn this land into the backdrop of her greatest story yet. Flora Bloom was raised by loving parents who were successful lawyers in San Myshuno. Despite growing up in a concrete jungle, Flora has always dreamed of having a flourishing garden and living in a home where she is self-sufficient. She lived in the city of Windenburg, working at a local flower shop. Although she loves arranging beautiful flowers every day, it wasn't enough for her to continue paying for her tiny studio apartment. When a coworker was telling her about the Stockton Ranch, it felt like fate. Although her parents have offered to pay for any future Flora wishes, Flora wants a different life for herself, and applies to live on the land for a chance to live the simpler life she's always wanted. Reshade was an art school student at the University of Brightchester who has spent the last 3 years struggling to sell his work in order to pay his tuition. After overpriced student housing and failed gallery deals drained his savings, he dropped out of school and was looking to move back home. That is, until he saw the Stockton's flyer at a local coffee shop. This opportunity is the perfect blank canvas for Hugh to find his love for art again that he lost while in the city. Rosemary Rue was born and raised in Brindleton Bay and has worked her way up in a local family-owned restaurant since she was a high school student at Copperdale High. Every paycheck Rosemary got was put toward rent and fresh ingredients to test new recipes that she would hopefully serve at her own farm-to-table restaurant one day. Now a young adult, her budding culinary career has taken a hit when the restaurant unexpectedly closed its doors after going bankrupt, leaving her without a job and income. While visiting her family to tell them the news, she ran into Brianna Stockton, who was a regular at the restaurant she worked at. Brianna, who was well aware of Rosemary's love of sustainable cooking, kindly offered space on her family's land, with the hopes of allowing Rosemary to focus on her culinary goals without the pressure of society. They've got no money, no home, and no guarantees. What was once the Stockton Ranch is now an empty plot of land. Will these 7 Sims be able to work together to make something Brianna and Jaden would be proud of?